Before I go any further, let me introduce myself. I'm Dr. Abraham George, Managing Trustee of the George Foundation. When I'm not with you, I live in the United States with my immediate family. I run a computer software company that I founded a number of years ago. The George Foundation was established in January 1995 in Bangalore, India, as a not-for-profit organization under the Indian Trust Act. It is dedicated to the welfare of children, especially those who are victims of poverty and those who suffer from adverse environmental conditions beyond their control. The foundation was initially conceived for the purpose of launching Project Shanti Bhavan. Since then, it has taken on other projects, including the recently started lead and anemia screening and prevention program in Bangalore. Underlying Shanti Bhavan and the other projects of the George Foundation is a belief in the infinite potential of all children, rich or poor, and the view that every man, woman, and child are worthy and deserving of the necessities of life, self-respect, and liberty. The right to equal opportunity and the pursuit of happiness is an inalienable right confined not just the more fortunate, but also to the poorest and most vulnerable among us. As Mahatma Gandhi once said, quote, "My notion of democracy is that under it, the weakest should have the same opportunity as the strongest." We, all of us, will be honoring his memory by putting those words into action in our commitment to serving children and their families. Shanti Bhavan is a boarding school that is intentionally small in the size of its student body so that it can be clearly focused, intense, and have a high potential for success. We'll start with 40 children, ages 4 and 5 in 1997, the initial year, and enroll a fresh batch of 4-year-olds each subsequent year. The school will target bright but poor children, including orphans, who have reasonable chance for success. Our current facilities, to be completed within the next few months, are for a maximum of 120 children and their attending staff. The school will focus on preschool to grade 5 in the early years. Subsequently, we'll further expand our facilities to accommodate up to grade 11 and 240 children. The future success of our children will depend on the care, encouragement, and educational opportunities Shanti Bhavan will provide. In order to ensure that you have a complete understanding of the philosophy, objectives, goals, and procedures that you will need to follow in undertaking your respective responsibilities, we have prepared a detailed policies and procedures manual which you will have reviewed already. In this brief talk, I will still highlight the major thrust of this institution. The in-service training sessions that will take place in the next few days and weeks will go into each of the areas in greater detail. Our overall goal is to make a significant positive difference in the lives of the children under our care. We must enable the children to become well-rounded, achieve their full potential, and become fully productive individuals. Our contention is that the unhappy consequences of suffering extreme want can be overcome if the problems are tackled in the early stages of a child's life. Children of poverty are no different than the more fortunate children if they are given a chance to dream and aspire and are supported through education, constant encouragement to realize their full potential. We want our children to become leaders of the society, doctors, engineers, managers, politicians, and so on. They should be capable of becoming leaders, not just in their present surroundings, but in the global marketplace, anywhere. Our programs will address every aspect of a child's personality, his or her emotional and social development, physical fitness, and cognitive growth. Emotional and social development are reflected in how the children perceive themselves, how they relate to others, how successful they feel, and how constructively they cope with difficult situations and emotions, and how they achieve satisfaction in their lives. Physical fitness is reflected in the normal functioning of the body with regard to health and stamina, development of motor skills, and the ability to engage in sports and other movement activities. Cognitive growth is reflected in the ability to think, make decisions, acquire values, and take charge of life. Our initial charge is to liberate the children from emotional and social barriers. Destitute children from backgrounds of chaos, unpredictability, and despair will not have learned the rules of an orderly universe, acquired logical skills, or developed a trust in their own efficacy. Being part of an underclass, they may also be feeling inferior and lacking drive and determination. Needless to say, without proper intervention from you, the children will remain poverty's captives, a burden to themselves and a burden to society. I am a firm believer in the human spirit. I remember when I was a little boy in my home state, Kerala, running around barefoot. One day, suddenly, a man in ragged clothes at a street corner ran along with me, leapfrogging on his two hands. Well, his legs were amputated. When I stopped, he turned to me with a big smile and said teasingly, "I can outrun you." His astonishing spirit had a lasting impression on me. Just imagine what he could have done if he only had a wheelchair. Shanti Bhavan must provide the type of intervention that will overcome the cumulative negative effects of serious deprivation and mainstream the children into well-rounded, wholesome, productive individuals. We must bring order and predictability to their lives via daily routines, rules and regulations, and consistency in carrying them out. Children need to develop trust and a sense of security before they can become fully involved in learning process. Once the emotional and social barriers are broken down, we can raise their aspirations, build their character, and promote their overall growth. Our objectives are therefore, 1, to meet emotional and social needs of the children by providing a loving and secure and socially active environment that promotes self-esteem and self-confidence. B, to meet their health needs by providing proper nutrition, medical attention, and psychological counseling. 3, to build character by instilling in them globally shared values of honesty, integrity, forthrightness that are crucial for success in an increasingly complex and interdependent world. And 4th, to foster their overall growth to succeed not just in their immediate community but in the global marketplace through a curriculum that emphasizes language and communication, math and general knowledge. We will emphasize thinking, reasoning and articulation, and leadership capabilities, creativity, and the desire to strive for excellence by stretching the limits of their capabilities. Let us examine each of these objectives in some detail. What do we mean by providing loving, secure, and socially active environment? The simple answer is, approach the children as your own. Give unto them the same care and attention, support and freedom, respect and appreciation as you would for your own child. I'm going to list a number of guidelines. Regard each child as an individual with unique feelings, interests, and concerns, and attend to them with warmth, understanding, and acceptance, not in a detached, impersonal, or critical manner. Accept them for what they are and slowly get them to open up to their feelings and emotions. Plan opportunities for expression through art, play, and movement. Talk to them in a caring manner, giving them plenty of assurances, hugs, to convey your love for them. Give each child individual attention and take time to listen attentively to each of them. Adjust your expectations to accommodate the child's particular stage of development. Encourage children to express their feelings and ask questions. Encourage teamwork among children who are developmentally ready for small or large group activities. Teach them to recognize that no one person is superior and that cooperation is the key to success, while undercutting others will backfire, creating even more problems. Emphasize in the course of daily activities sensitivity to others' feelings, being accommodative, looking out for the interests of the group as a whole, being friendly, being considerate, being helpful to others, and controlling impulses and anger. Act with authority, not superiority towards the child. When children are struggling with their anger or frustration, encourage them to express their feelings in words, show empathy for their emotions, and then redirect their energies towards positive ends. Handle behavioral problems that arise in an understanding and non-judgmental way. Do not reject a child if he or she misbehaves. Refrain from showing your displeasure, especially if the child is just coming out of a shell. Explain privately why the behavior was inappropriate. Teach them the value of labor, that no work is below their dignity. Refrain from making hasty decisions about the children. Refrain from cornering a child or regarding a child's disobedience as a personal affront. Make sure the child understands the rationale for the disciplinary actions, even when they are necessary, and always reward the child for good behavior through encouragement and praise. Maintain a stable, predictable, and orderly environment that would be conducive to developing a sense of trust. Praise children constantly for small and big achievements, for following the rules, for being sensitive, for helping, for showing good sportsmanship. Providing close attention and constant assurance through praise is crucial for developing a positive self-image. Through praise, children's confidence level will increase and they will take on increasingly challenging tasks. They will also learn to respect themselves and continue to believe in the ways that they can earn respect from others. Extend a feeling of warmth and tenderness at all times to create in the children a sense of belonging and a feeling that they can rely on others. Make them feel that they are part of a larger family. These are obviously just a few of the many ways we can promote growth of children in the early stages of their development. As the children mature, they will continue to need your support and encouragement, but they will also seek to become more self-reliant and independent. We must then encourage their development by being less directive, allowing them to use their creative energies in the ways they see fit, encouraging independent projects and the free exercise of the mind. Even in the early years, encourage children to do things for themselves like cleaning up, taking care of belongings, putting on their clothing, putting on and taking off shoes, washing their hands and faces, making simple decisions, problem solving and conflicts and so on, intervening only when necessary. Avoid the urge to provide quick and ready solutions. Encourage children to question and even challenge adults with their ideas. Challenging an adult viewpoint should not be viewed as a confrontation, but rather as a quest for truth and understanding. Avoid the urge to have children passively receive your ideas without question. Encourage them to take charge, to lead discussions, and be assertive. This principle should apply to both boys and girls, not just boys alone. In order to keep children physically and mentally healthy, Shanti Bhavan will ensure that the children receive proper nutrition and medical care. The meals we provide children must be balanced in nutritional content and for sure enjoyable. Our initial screening and preventive care program with immunizations and routine physical examinations and psychological counseling will ensure that the children remain healthy in body and mind. The health staff, together with its teaching staff, must seek to promote healthful living practices with regard to eating, keeping clean, doing exercises, engaging in a variety of sports activities, and practicing good sportsmanship. In the course of engaging in physical activities, children will grow emotionally and socially, which will prepare them to assume meaningful roles in their future. How can we be sure that our children will become future leaders? Well, the answer is simple. Some of them may not, but we should expect a good majority to succeed. In order to be future leaders, children must start from a very early age to develop a value system, a sense of responsibility, and social graces. Adults should serve as a role model for adherence to a moral code. We are a non-sectarian organization and will promote only non-partisan, universally accepted values such as honesty, integrity, and forthrightness. Children should be taught very early on to be truthful, unselfish, respectful, and sensitive to others. We'll teach them to keep their word and not to engage in dishonest or deceptive behavior, such as stealing or cheating on examinations. Help children to understand and appreciate the religious and ethnic backgrounds of their peers and the adults. developing in them tolerance and respect for an individual's age, gender, religious, cultural, and ethnic background. Storybooks and your own account of heroes and heroines from history and literature can serve to reinforce children's value system. Sense of responsibility should be similarly developed from an early age. Teach children to respect and take care of their belongings, be tidy and conscientious, and thorough in everything they do. Children should be taught to recognize that no one person is superior to another, and that cooperation is the key to success. Needless to say, proper social behavior, respect, courtesy, and goodwill towards other people puts a person in a clearly advantageous position in any social setting. To put it simply, people tend to respond better to people who are considerate and well-behaved. It is our charge to teach our children from the very start to be properly greet people, say thank you, I'm sorry, excuse me, and so on. We must also teach them how to behave in company, how to attend to guests, how to mingle with adults in formal settings. How do we structure the educational program? The educational program will emphasize the all-round development of children via a well-planned and executed curriculum. The curriculum in the first 3 years will be designed to minimize stress. The priority at this stage is to spark children's interest in learning by easing them into a learning environment that is enjoyable rather than overpowering them with studies in a multitude of subjects. The subject areas that will be covered through formal instruction in these years will be limited to language and math. Exposure to other areas of general knowledge and the development of character, values, and physical and mental health will be through informal meals, via personality and health development sessions. Informal sessions for all age groups will include storytelling, drawing, painting, singing and dance, play acting, arts and crafts, psychological counseling, medical checkups, and so on. Extracurricular activities such as sports, drills, camping trips, and musical and dramatic performances will also further the development of the total personality. The curriculum for grades 3 and above, that is age 7 onwards, will include formal instruction in not only language and math, but also in other subjects such as physical sciences, biological sciences, humanities, and so on, consistent with the offerings in good elementary schools. The children of Shanti Bhavan will have access to state-of-the-art books, supplies, and equipment to aid their learning. Computer, television sets, and audio-visual equipment will also be utilized for teaching and learning purposes. Children will be given the opportunity to watch educational and cultural programs such as those on wildlife and marine life and domestic animals, geography, history, people and cultures, science, comedy, and adventures. Local artists should be invited once a month to provide live performances or exhibitions of their works to children. Field trips to places of business, historical and cultural centers will also be part of the children's learning experience. The success of our mission is ultimately judged by the success of our student body. Their progress in terms of emotional stability, sociability, high aspirations, physical development, intellectual and analytical development, and display of generally accepted values and exemplary personality traits. How then should we go about monitoring this progress and ensuring positive changes? Let us start with preschoolers. At age 4, children tend to be physically active. Their motor drive is high and they have a need to explore and do things for themselves. They are apt to get frustrated with too much structure and regimentation. A learning environment that takes into consideration these factors should be one that is very informal. Children will learn through play or fun activities that involve the senses, such as touch, taste, and smell. Teachers must select play activities for children based on their level of development. The assessment of children made at the time of admission should be the basis for the curriculum. The curriculum should be adjusted based on what the teacher learns about the child every day. from observation and from input from other staff members. There should be routine conference among the staff to monitor progress. Action plans should be devised to achieve continuous improvement. Helping children to achieve specific performance outcomes should be the goal. These outcomes and the ways of measuring these outcomes are detailed in the manual and will be the subject of discussion in the next few days. In evaluating children, greater importance should be given to process thinking or problem-solving capabilities rather than mere accumulation of facts. At ages 5 and 6, children will continue to need plenty of individualized attention. We must be sensitive to this need and tailor the curriculum and teaching approach accordingly. While teaching will be conducted in structured classroom settings, plenty of opportunities should be provided for constant interaction with the teacher. The principles of nurturing that applies to 4-year-olds will also apply to 5 and 6-year-olds. In shaping curriculum, teachers must take into account children's developmental readiness. Formal examination should be limited to language and math. Children should be given ample opportunities to express themselves orally, in writing, through art, music, drama, and games. Assessment of children should be based not only in in-class performance, but also on input from other staff members. Again, the specific performance outcomes toward which we must direct the children are detailed in the policy manual and will be the subject of discussions in the next few days. In evaluating children, greater importance should be given to process thinking or problem-solving capabilities rather than mere accumulation of facts. Children of ages 7 and above will be evaluated in all their subjects via formal written examinations. In addition, assessment will be made of homework assignments, class participation, and independent projects. Overall evaluation of progress will also be given importance. And extracurricular achievements in sports, music, art, or drama, or debates will also be important. Independent projects and talent shows will be judged for their organization, technique, creativity, and overall effectiveness. How do we monitor that we are doing a good job? We must keep careful, detailed records of the progress of each child. With these records, staff can monitor their own progress in meeting accountability standards. Teachers, volunteers, resident supervisors, and health staff must routinely keep the office of the principal and assistant principal appraised of the student progress. The curriculum committee of the Board of Trustees will receive progress report on each student from the office of the principal. The reports will include the extent to which the child is meeting programmatic outcomes, deficiencies in the child's development, and the rationale for the deficiencies, corrective steps being taken to overcome the deficiencies, and other pertinent issues. Members of the Board of Trustees will make visits to Shanti Bhavan to observe firsthand the status of the programs and to offer assessment and specific recommendations. The success of Shanti Bhavan rests on the dedication of all of you to carry out the mission for years to come. You must uphold the highest standards in all you undertake, especially moral and ethical standards, diligence in meeting your job-related responsibilities, and overall professionalism. Staff will not participate in practices that are disrespectful, degrading, dangerous, exploitative, intimidating, psychologically damaging, or physically harmful to the children. Abuse or neglect of children in any form is unacceptable. Engage in behaviors that are generally acceptable to the society. Maintain professionalism in appearance as well as in conduct. The Policies and Procedures Manual covers this area in some detail and should assist you in your endeavors. But let me point out, however, certain standards with regard to values, conduct, and efficiency. Shanti Bhavan will not promote partisan notions or beliefs or ideas that tend to be self-serving, opportunistic, or promoting a personal agenda. We must not tolerate among ourselves and among our children presumptions of quote-unquote moral and spiritual superiority. We will not teach our children to be fatalistic, to accept, for example, conditions such as corruption, dishonesty, and ineptness as established by fate. In other words, we will not seek to justify as fatalism or as a given way of life in our society at large conduct and values that are clearly unethical, fraudulent, or improper. We must not accept universally disapproved behavior or conduct such as rudeness, dishonesty, prejudicial, and narrow thinking, and corrupt practices. Children will be given the opportunity to learn about the teachings and philosophy of different religions, but no indoctrination of any religion or cult-like beliefs will be allowed. Children must be permitted to follow the religious beliefs that they have already acquired, or to form new convictions as they see fit. Shanti Bhavan is solely dedicated to advancing the welfare of children. The board and staff will seek no publicity, recognition, or personal gain from any activities associated with Shanti Bhavan. Your reward and recognition will automatically come from the results. You don't need to seek recognition. The physical facilities, the staff, and the children will not be used in any manner for political purposes or for other partisan causes. Only those individuals from the outside who have something of value for the children will be allowed to address and interact with the children. The board or staff will not engage in any unlawful or unethical activities or transactions with any party, regardless of the potential monetary or other benefits. Efforts will be taken to avoid even a perception of unlawful and unethical activities or transactions. While Shanti Bhavan is a non-profit venture, it will not be run purely as a benevolent endeavor with unlimited funds to be used at will. It will be run with business-like efficiency and precision, with benchmarks and streamlining of operations. Staff members are accountable for both quantitative and qualitative outcomes. The quantitative outcomes are with regard to budgetary matters, student retention, number of trained staff on reserve, and so on, while qualitative outcomes are with regard to student progress and overall staff performance. To encourage children and staff to succeed in their efforts, a reward system must be established. From the very start, adults will let their children know what is expected of them. Rewards for meeting or surpassing expectations will range from simple hugs or words of praise to awards and prizes for their significant achievements. Staff who are responsible for bringing about significant positive changes in children will be formally recognized and given awards for their efforts. Formal evaluation of staff by their respective supervisors will include documentation of their achievements and will be the basis for awarding special recognition. The system of rewarding children and staff for progress will prevail at every age and every grade level. In closing, let me reiterate a few points. Shanti Bhavan aims to develop the full potential of disadvantaged children. In order to achieve this end, every aspect of the child's personality and development needs must be addressed simultaneously. Keep in mind that our role as educators and caregivers is to make the children we serve feel wanted, loved, and happy. Without that base grounded in love and respect for their welfare, we will have failed in our mission. Shanti Bhavan must serve as a symbol of hope to every child and a means to realize their dreams. A successful child is a happy child, capable of interacting well with others, who thinks independently and who perseveres hard to his or her fullest abilities. A successful child is a kind and gentle child, who is sensitive, considerate, honest, and helpful. Such a child will surely grow up to be successful and a happy adult. Let me say a few words about you. You are the most important asset that Shanti Bhavan has. You are the ones who will make the difference between mediocrity and excellence. To me, your well-being is just as important as those of the children under your care. I'll do everything I can to ensure that you feel at home at Shanti Bhavan, that your legitimate needs are met, that each one of you is treated with the utmost consideration and sensitivity. In turn, I ask of the very best in you: hard work, dedication, consideration for others, fair play, and don't forget, lots of love and kindness. We must be true to our vision in all we undertake. We will make it possible what may appear to be impossible. We shall let every child dream of a wonderful future, and together we'll help them achieve their individual aspirations. Thank you very much.